headlines for this hour on VTV News. Party General Secretary meets with Vietnamese community in Malaysia. A locality enhanced competitive edge to attract high-quality FDI. In our news, U.S. President-elect announces an array of administration picks.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi and you're watching VTV News. On Saturday morning, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm and his spouse met with the staff of the embassy and the Vietnamese community in Malaysia. General Secretary Tô Lâm affirmed that the establishment of the Vietnam-Malaysia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership holds special importance, opening up significant opportunities for cooperation and strengthening bilateral relations. Affirming that the party and state consider the Vietnamese community abroad an inseparable part and vital resource of the nation, the General Secretary praised the Vietnamese community in Malaysia for always looking towards the homeland and encouraged them to follow local laws, continue integration, and contribute to both their homeland's development and Vietnam-Malaysia relations. During the visit, General Secretary Tô Lâm attended the launch of the Vietjet's new Hanoi-Kuala Lumpur route, which will operate 7 round-trip flights weekly starting November 28th. During his official visit to Cambodia, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn met with Supreme Advisor to the King of Cambodia and Chairman of the Cambodia-Vietnam Friendship Association Samdech Men Saman. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn expressed hope that the Cambodia-Vietnam and Vietnam-Cambodia Friendship Associations would strengthen their cooperation to help all citizens, particularly the younger generations, better understand and appreciate the importance of preserving and nurturing the bilateral relationship. Samdech Men Saman emphasized that the association would enhance its effectiveness as a bridge for good neighborly relations, traditional friendship, and comprehensive, sustainable cooperation between the two countries. On Saturday morning, the National Assembly held group discussions on the draft law on management and investment of state capital in enterprises. Deputies agreed that the draft breakthroughs light in shifting from managing corporate legal entities to managing investment capital flows. However, they called for stricter regulations to ensure effective management. Several deputies emphasized that state capital management should focus on achieving goals rather than merely controlling behavior. Regarding Article 12, there were suggestions to review regulations on enterprise duties, powers, and responsibility to prevent overlap between enterprise and owner rights while ensuring alignment with the law on enterprise securities. The deputies suggest that management must go hand in hand with rigorous capital use supervisions. They also noted that state-owned enterprises should take the lead in sectors where private enterprises are not yet ready to invest. Vietnam has attracted $27.26 billion in foreign direct investment FDI over the past 10 months. The fourth quarter is a critical and challenging period that will determine whether the country can achieve the goal of $40 billion in FDI this year. Localities across the country are ramping up efforts prioritizing green investment to foster sustainable growth.
Solar panels power the entire facility of Daikin Vietnam's air conditioner manufacturing plant in Hung Yen. Such green initiatives are mandatory for all factories in this industrial park.
Our goal is to achieve net zero CO2 emissions by 2030. Currently, the solar power system meets around 40% of the plant's electricity demand. We are collaborating with the industrial park to expand solar power production.
Each province and city is carving out its own unique approach to maximize comparative advantages in attracting foreign investment. Bac Ninh, a consistent leader in FDI attraction, focuses on high-quality and green investments. Meanwhile, Haiphong leverages competitive reforms and prepares clean land resources to welcome top-tier enterprises.
We are selective from the outset to attract big, leading investors in fields of electricity, electronics, semiconductors, high-tech, and pharmaceuticals.
The city has submitted a government proposal to establish a new 20,000-hectare coastal economic zone in southern Haiphong to expand the city's development space.
Multiple factors affect FDI attraction, such as infrastructure, human resources, and public service quality. Investment policies and workforce quality stand out as the most crucial factors for investors.
The value addition that is coming out of the FDI-driven manufacturing sector is not really translated into adding value to the domestic manufacturing sector. We need to bridge that link, right? That's one point.
According to the Ministry of Planning and Investment, Vietnam has developed one of the most robust ecosystems in the region for semiconductors and artificial intelligence. By advancing institutional frameworks, fostering human capital, and prioritizing high-value sectors, Vietnam is poised to seize a new wave of investment.
According to the National Power Development Plan 8 for 2021-2030, with a vision to 2045, 23 gas-fired power projects with a total capacity of over 30,000 megawatt, equivalent to 20% of the national installed capacity, are stated to be operational by 2030. However, 21 of these projects are currently stalled due to financial hurdles and difficulties in securing long-term output mechanisms. More to follow.
After over a year of negotiations, the power purchase agreement for the Nung Trach 3 and 4 power plants was officially signed last October. They are also the first liquefied natural gas (LNG) projects under Power Development Plan VIE. Designed with a capacity of over 1,600 megawatts, the project is expected to supply the national grid with 9 billion kilowatt-hours of commercial electricity annually. Yet, without long-term purchase commitments, the project's financial viability remains uncertain.
We are striving to connect the first power output to the national grid by this December. However, during operation, many challenges remain. Without long-term purchase commitments, we cannot secure long-term LNG contracts and have to buy energy at higher prices. Additionally, there is no guarantee the plant will be allowed to operate at full capacity, which impacts how much power we can deliver to the national grid.
Although gas-fired power is expected to play a key role in stabilizing the power system in the future, facility development has been sluggish. Among the 23 planned projects, only one is operational. Obstacles in establishing mechanisms for long-term clean energy procurement highlight the urgent need for a tailored framework to implement these projects.
The legal framework for contracts that meet both parties' expectations is currently incomplete. To manage LNG input costs effectively, we need long-term commitments and contracts, which are essential for price control.
Currently, there's no mechanism for LNG offtake or for transferring LNG costs to electricity prices. Resolving capacity allocation issues for these plants is also an issue.
The Ministry of Industry and Trade is working to get the government's approval to categorize these projects as national priority initiatives. As a low-emission energy source, gas-fired power is crucial for the transition to green energy in the coming years.
Vietnam's national brand value ranked 32nd this year, reaching $507 billion. According to Brand Finance, the world's leading and valuation consultancies. This marked an improvement of 1 position in ranking and a 2% increase in value compared to last year. The positive number is expected to contribute to enhancing Vietnam's international standing in the coming years.
According to Brand Finance, Vietnam's national brand has made remarkable progress in recent years. Not only has the country entered the top 50 strongest national brands, but it was also the fastest growing national brand globally between 2019 and 2022.
very high economic growth. Secondly, because of significant increases in or improvements in perceptions of Vietnam as a nation brand. And thirdly, as a result of a more stabler environment.
Telecommunications and technology, banking, food and beverages are among the sectors that have significantly contributed to the development of Vietnam's national brand. As a nation's brand value grows, all its goods and services benefit, especially in tourism and exports, while also helping attract more foreign direct investment into Vietnam.
Samsung produces 50 to 60% of its smartphones in Vietnam. Therefore, if Vietnam's national brand grows, Korean investors will be more confident in increasing their investments.
When a country is elevating its brand, it doesn't just happen by mistake. It takes hard work. Vietnamese leaders, they're meeting with people, and they're trying to sell Vietnam. Skilled labor, hardworking people, people that want to get ahead, a country that's well located, a country that is moving up the value chain.
Southeast Asia, and particularly Vietnam, is currently in an ideal position to capitalize on the global shift in manufacturing, as listed by Brand Finance. The country is increasingly establishing itself as a reliable economic and trade partner, a nation that is entering a new era of strong growth.
Coming up next on VTV News, Ninh Bình strive to attract more Japanese tourists. And first, Huê Văn Các Award ceremony held in Hanoi. Welcome back to VTV News. Forests play an important role in preventing natural disasters. To help the community better understand and work together in protecting forests as well as wild animals, on Saturday morning, the event Joining Hands to Protect Forests Against Storms and Flood, Being Kind and Harmonious with Elephants and Wild Animals took place at Hoàn Kiếm Lake Walking Street, Hanoi. The event drew many visitors and tourists. By bringing forest awareness to the streets of Hoàn Kiếm Lake, the event offered everyone a chance to learn more about forest conservation. This hands-on approach proved highly effective, hosting an event about forests and wildlife in the heart of the capital cultural space created a unique bridge between urban residents and nature. Many visitors, especially young families and children who had frequented the walking street before, were particularly moved by the program's message. Lai Châu, a northwestern province, spans a border of more than 265 kilometers. With its fragmented terrain, the region suffers from inadequate transportation networks in remote districts and commutes. To address this, local authorities have accelerated crucial transportation projects to improve mobility and foster sustainable socio-economic development. A report from Thanh Uyên District, which stands out for its effective implementations of the transport initiative.
Nguyen's family is one of the local producers of specialty rice. Along with facilitating travel for residents, the upgraded and expanded intervillage roads have improved transportation for the family business. As a result, their enterprise is thriving.
The upgraded intervillage roads facilitate faster movement of vehicles. Public transport is available from early morning to evening, improving rice transportation as we deliver rice to other districts and provinces every day.
An urban infrastructure project has been implemented in Thanh Uyên town since 2023. The project aims to improve interregional connections among Thanh Uyên District, Muang Cang Commune and Muang Than Commune, thereby reducing traffic congestion on National Highway 32.
National Highway 32, which connects Lai Chau's center with the three provinces of Yen Bai, Sơn La, and Lao Cai, is often overwhelmed with a large number of vehicles, leading to severe traffic congestion. The improvement of the inter-regional connections has facilitated the movement of people and goods, as it not only ensures traffic safety, but also meets residents' transport demand.
According to the Supervision Unit, the project faced slow progress due to prolonged heavy rains in 2023 and 2024 and construction material shortages. However, joint efforts and ample support from local authorities, construction companies, and residents have facilitated the project.
We have mobilized a large number of workers and construction equipment to speed up the project. Hopefully, the project will be complete and put into operation by 2025.
The inter-regional routes have streamlined the movement of vehicles and goods transport. Traffic infrastructure improvements will pave the way for community-based tourism development. The enhancement of transport systems is key to developing the local socio-economy.
The Nguyen's traffic infrastructure improvements have laid a strong foundation for socio-economic development. With its pristine landscapes and cultural diversity, the district expects to attract more investment in agriculture, tourism, and culture as it works toward recognition as a new-style rural area by 2025.
20 teams of Vietnamese students aged 6 to 10 have taken part in an annual international robotics competition in Singapore from November 18 to 23. The contest, Global Robotics Game 2024, aims to nurture future innovators in robotics and provides an excellent opportunity for young talents from the Asia-Pacific region to learn from each other. More to follow.
Vietnam is one of the 7 countries participating in this year's robotics competition in Singapore. Vietnam sent 20 teams from elementary schools to compete in the mobile robotics category, which is designated for young talents between the ages of 6 and 9 years old.
The competition is a useful platform to learn from others. We'll do our best to win the championship.
This year's competition requires contestants to create robots that can move forward, backward, and turn right or left.
Participating teams are required to create and program their robots in different ways. A team from Vietnam, Pluto, earned 250 points in the first round.
The ante for all of the other teams. They are so knowledgeable and so proficient in their robotics that they are the teams to watch, and we always want to know, we are always looking out for them, seeing whether any one of them is going to be the champion.
Regarding competitions for Vietnamese kids, we will always stand by young talents to help them reach their full potential.
In addition to the Global Robotics Game in Singapore, Vietnam will send 13 teams of students aged 8 to 19 years old to compete in the World Robot Olympiad at the end of this month.
More than 20 Japanese travel and tourism companies, along with various Vietnamese and Japanese organizations and businesses, gathered at the Ninh Bình Tourism Promotion Conference in Tokyo on Saturday morning. Ninh Bình has emerged as one of Vietnam's pioneers in organizing tourism promotion events in Japan. A story from our correspondent in Japan.
Japanese artists organized a program showcasing Vietnamese culture. This included a graceful dance featuring lotus-printed ao dai and traditional conical hats, highlighting the gentle beauty of Vietnamese women. A flower arrangement demonstration by artisan Endo Yuko, founder of the Nihon Kado San Senryu School, evoked strong emotions among attendees. Stunning visuals of Ninh Bình were displayed, creating an immersive Ninh Bình tourism experience in Tokyo, Japan.
I was very impressed visiting Trang An and the Buddhist establishments in Ninh Bình. Ninh Bình is striving to create a circular tourism society, promoting eco-friendly, organic, and sustainable tourism. We are strengthening our cooperation with Ninh Bình and promoting its tourism.
I believe Ninh Bình combines rich natural landscapes with deep-rooted traditional culture, something that many Japanese would be interested in learning about. I sense that many people want to visit Ninh Bình to truly experience this and discover its local potential.
Ninh Bình tourism has many advantages in attracting Japanese tourists, especially those drawn to cultural heritage and environmentally friendly travel. As the former capital of Vietnam and a site with UNESCO-recognized heritage, Ninh Binh boasts nearly 2,000 tangible cultural heritage sites and 500 intangible cultural heritage sites.
Ninh Binh has identified Japan as a highly important potential market. The strategy for the near future is to intensify efforts to attract international visitors. Japan is one of the priority markets for international tourism promotion.
Beyond attracting Japanese tourists, Ninh Binh is studying Japan's successful tourism models. The province aims to leverage the growing tourist flow to Japan while strengthening Vietnam-Japan tourism cooperation.
On the evening of November 22nd, at the North Park on the east bank of the Dragon Bridge along the poetic Han River, the 2024 Lai Châu Culture Tourism Week officially kicked off in Da Nang City with the theme Returning to the Majestic Lai Châu Peaks. Lai Châu is a mountainous border province located along the majestic western slopes of Hoàng Liên Sơn, captivating people not only with its beautiful natural scenery, but also the warmth, sincerity, and hospitality of its 20 ethnic groups. Leveraging its natural potentials and advantages, Lai Châu province has recently focused on attracting investment and developing quality tourism products, drawing many visitors to the region. The Lai Châu Culture Tourism Week in Da Nang City runs from November 22nd to November 24th, featuring unique activities including demonstrations of traditional ethnic groups, handicrafts from the Lai Châu highlands, and exhibitions on local products, local agricultural goods, and craft village creations. On Friday night, the first Huê Văn Các Award ceremony took place in Hanoi, honoring young Vietnamese talents with outstanding achievements in the fields of social sciences and humanities, organized by the Central Committee of the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union. This biennial award recognized 9 exceptional young Vietnamese scientists for its inaugural year. The recipient represented diverse fields including law, education, economics, culture, arts, philosophy, political science, sociology and history, archaeology, ethnology, and anthropology. These recognitions of outstanding scientists in social sciences and humanities serve to motivate and inspire further academic pursuit, scientific research, and practical applications, ultimately contributing to national development. Coming up next in our news, U.S. President-elect announces an array of administration picks. And bird flu virus shows signs of human adaptation. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has announced nominations for several key administration positions. On Friday, Donald Trump nominated prominent investors Scott Bessent as U.S. Treasury Secretary, a position with significant influence over the U.S. economy and financial markets. Bessent has advocated for tax reform and deregulations, particularly to promote bank lending and energy production. Trump also selected Russell Vought at his pick to lead the Office of Management and Budget, which assists the president in overseeing federal budget preparation. Vought established himself as a policy expert during Trump's first administration, showing strong commitment to the Make America Great Again movement. On the same day, Donald Trump chose Congresswoman Lori Travis DeRemer of the Oregon as the next Secretary of Labor.
That we're never going to align what we spend with what we take in.
Azerbaijan, which holds the presidency of the 29th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Conventions on Climate Change, or COP29, has announced a draft climate financial deal. The proposal called for developed nations to lead by providing $250 billion in annual climate finance by 2035. The draft also set a broader goal of mobilizing $1.3 trillion in total annual climate finance by 2035, combining funding from public and private sources. As the United Nations climate talks appear likely to extend beyond schedule, Azerbaijan urged negotiators at the COP29 summit to resolve their differences and reach a finance agreement. At a children's hospital in Vancouver, Canada, a teenager is in critical conditions after being infected with an avian influenza virus that has researchers on high alert. Viral genome sequences suggest that the teenager is infected with an H5N1 avian influenza virus bearing mutations that might improve its ability to infect human airways. If true, it could mean that the virus can rapidly evolve to make the jump from birth to humans. The teen did not work or live on a poultry farm, and researchers found no sign of H5N1 infections in household pets. Public health authorities in Canada have tested about 36 close contacts of the infected teenager with no H5N1 infection detected. While concerning, this situation does not necessarily signal an impending pandemic. Architecture firm Phie has unveiled its design for the King Salman Stadium and a master plan set to become the largest capacity stadium in Saudi Arabia and the primary headquarters for the Saudi Arabia national football team. The 92,000 capacity stadium in Riyadh is expected to be the showpiece of the 2034 World Cup. More to follow.
The design of the stadium takes inspiration from the local topography, following the symbolic concept of each new venue within the master plan imagined as a seed that germinates, cracking the ground to reveal an emerging location embedded in its natural context. The main stadium features a gross seating capacity of more than 92,000, set to become the largest sports venue in Saudi Arabia.
The 2034 World Cup is our invitation to the world to witness Saudi Arabia's development, experience its welcoming society, culture and heritage, and become part of its history.
The King Salman Stadium Master Plan organizes the larger area surrounding the stadium, ensuring comfortable access and accommodating various events and daily activities year-round.
Fans can look forward enjoying a maximum of only 3 hours flying time between cities and stadiums while exploring our mountains, our islands, and of course our culture. Everything will be connected with state-of-the-art facilities to guarantee an amazing fan experience.
The King Salman International Stadium is one of the country's most ambitious projects, as it prepares to host a series of major international events in the coming years. While FIFA's confirmation is still pending, Saudi Arabia remains the only candidate to host the 2034 World Cup.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.